No one's coming. Demand it from yourself. The night is silent, except for the echo of your own pulse, that steady drum inside your ribs, announcing you are alive, awake, and wholly responsible. Picture yourself on a windswept ridge, overlooking every possibility your ancestors prayed for. Below chance scurries like shadows. But up here, the sky is clear, and the stars peer down as witnesses. The air tastes of raw potential, unclaimed and impatient. Think of the first fire, how some nameless wanderer refused to freeze, struck stone against stone, and forced the universe to yield heat. No one delivered that flame in a velvet box. It was demanded from darkness. Napoleon Hill called this the genesis of all achievement, an inner decree that refuses denial. So listen closely. No mentor on horseback, no rescue drone, no comforting algorithm is en route. Salvation is not copyrighted. It is self-issued. This moment is the judge's gavel. You are found capable. Sentence: greatness. Probation: never. Appeal: none. The guards are dreams dying for lack of action, and they rattle their chains so loudly that you can no longer pretend you don't hear them. Stand then and feel gravity rebrand itself as loyalty, because the earth itself holds you in place, only so you can push harder against it. Lincoln bent that same gravity when he rose from log cabin poverty to sculpt a nation's conscience. Disney bent it when he sketched a mouse that would outlive monarchs. Malala bends it now with a voice that ricochets through classrooms once silenced by bullets. These are not exceptions, they are blueprints. Your pulse is the ink, your breath the drafting table. Begin. Mindset is the first beam you set into this cathedral you are raising. It is invisible, yet every stone above obeys its angle. Guard it the way Edison guarded his laboratory from doubt. When his filaments shattered for the 1,000th time, he did not rename the effort failure. He reclassified it as data. That is mindset, the alchemy of narrative, the authority to label adversity as curriculum. Imagine your thoughts as seeds. The soil does not care whether you plant nettles or orchards, it yields multiplication either way. If you rehearse complaints, you harvest shackles. If you rehearse possibility, you harvest runway. So audit the monologue behind your eyes. Rewrite every I can't into I haven't yet. Marry self-respect to curiosity until even heartbreak serves as an instructor rather than a jailer. Carve a warning over your mental gate in bold letters. Enter only if you contribute to destiny. Then enforce it with the ruthlessness of Spartan mothers who handed their sons shields and said return with it or on it. The battlefield is internal, long before external victory is permitted. Belief walks in next, wearing no armor for it is armor. It is the invisible architecture that outlasts concrete. Andrew Carnegie, immigrant weaver's son, stood in Pittsburgh's smog and believed he could refine steel until it softened the silhouette of skylines across continents. He had no right except belief is a self-granting license. Envision belief as an engine that starts only when fueled by decision. Decision, Hill taught, is a cliff you step off while building your wings mid-air. Yet notice every child does it when taking first steps. Doubt is later adult manufactured noise. Return then to childlike daring and weld it to mature commitment. Whisper aloud the outrageous thing you intend, write it on the fogged mirror after a hot shower, so steam and ink merge into oath. Then repeat until the mirror remembers. Belief is repetition in the language of certainty. Clarity sharpens the picture like dawn slicing through mist. General wishes are arrows without heads. Clarity hammers steel onto points. Ford did not say I want to improve transportation. He said I will build a carriage so affordable every working family can own one. That linguistic precision became the assembly line, which became a culture shift. Define exactly what mountain you will summit, which date the flag will be planted, how it will feel when the wind snaps that fabric against stars. Write sensory details, the smell of victory, paint the chorus of relieved colleagues, the texture of the check with commas, validating risk. Neuroscience confirms what Hill intuited. The brain rehearses as if reality once vision acquires detail. Clarity is rehearsal. Rehearsal is prophecy. Vision then unfurls its cinema. If clarity is a photograph, Vision is a feature film scored by heartbeat. Close your eyes and project the life you are drafting onto the back of your eyelids until colors saturate. Watch yourself finishing the marathon, delivering the keynote, hugging the family you elevated. Feel the parquet floor of the stage. The salt of tears you earned, the electricity of an audience rising in unchoreographed ovation. Replay that reel morning and night until complacency cannot find a chair in the theater. Vision is an internal lighthouse slicing through storm when external evidence runs scarce. Hold it. Guard it. Feed it testimonials of those who outran statistics. Every skyscraper was first a story told in private. Purpose presses closer, heavier than vision, yet buoyant like faith. Ask the question Hill pressed upon every student. Why must this occur? Let the answers scorch triviality. Perhaps your family tree is thirsty for someone to water its roots with possibility. Perhaps your city is bleeding from a wound only your invention can stitch. Perhaps a younger version of you is still locked in a locker room praying for a mentor. You are the one who must arrive. Purpose is the compass that prevents success from drifting into vanity. Without it, riches rot into boredom. With it, scarcity becomes pilgrimage. Anchor purpose in service for service is currency that never inflates. Discipline now adjusts the thermostat because emotion fluctuates like weather. Discipline is climate control. It is the alarm before sunrise, the last rep after fatigue, the email drafted while peers marinate in distraction. Schematics are worthless without hammers. Discipline swings the hammer daily. Picture your habits as a chain, each link a morning routine, a reading session, a financially wise choice. Weak links invite snap under load, so forge them in ritual. Hill said the only enduring capital is organized knowledge, but knowledge disorganized evaporates. Organize your hours into non-negotiable appointments with destiny. Track them visibly. A calendar tattooed with check marks. A wall plastered with metric dashboards. Let friends say you are obsessed. Obsession is merely love refusing sedation. Action bursts through the doors like a storm hungry for earth. Opportunity hears motion, not intention. Think of the Wright brothers' bicycle mechanics who hammered wings in a shed because they were too busy building to draft timid business plans. Their prototype, coughed against Carolina air, stuttered and lifted. History pivoted on less than 1 minute of flight. Notice it was imperfect. Fragile, underfunded. Perfectionism is procrastination wearing a tuxedo. Strip it off. Ship the song before the harmonies are symmetrical. Launch the app with one sterling feature. Offer the class while still writing lesson 3. Adjust mid-run. Motion splashes color onto monochrome dreams. Gratitude follows with a surprising roar, not a whisper. True gratitude is not tranquil. It is thunderstruck awe that you get to battle it all. Thank the competitor sharpening your edge, the rejection letter rerouting you to better terrain, the scarcity that made ingenuity non-optional. Carnegie wrote handwritten notes of appreciation to rivals who forced his mills to innovate. Gratitude metabolizes hardship into fuel. It primes the mind to notice advantage embedded in chaos. Keep a ledger each evening. List 3 adversities and the hidden curriculum inside them. In weeks, your nervous system will recalibrate to opportunity detection. Adaptability pirouettes. Next, a dancer unafraid of dropped beats. The marketplace mutates hourly. Algorithms rewrite themselves while you sleep. Blockbuster once laughed at Netflix envelopes. Nokia once ruled pockets. Yesterday's titans furnish today's case studies in rigidity. Build your plans in pencil, your principles in granite. If a door jams, design a window. If tariffs rise, invent digital. Hill's transmutation of defeat into victory was adaptability before Silicon Valley trademarked pivoting. Treat change as a sparring partner. Move, dodge, counter-learn. Resilience takes the stage. Broad-shouldered, bruised, smiling anyway. Imagine Thomas Edison in December 1914 when his factory burned so intensely the night sky glowed. Insurance covered little, but Edison told his son, "Go get your mother and friends. They'll never see a fire like this again." Then he rebuilt, improved, and added phonographs to the inventory. Resilience is not blind optimism. It is clarity welded to stubbornness. When loss smacks you breathless, exhale purpose and inhale strategy. Draft lessons in real time, pivot while the ash is still warm. Every setback is tuition pay and graduate. Learning flows through everything, like water seeking the lowest excuses dissolving them. Formal education ends. Learning does not. Carnegie set aside 2 hours a night for study his entire life. Oprah credits reading as her exit velocity from poverty. Construct your mastermind podcasts from minds brighter than noon books, older than your grandparents' mentors alive, or archived in letters. Let curiosity supersede pride. Ask how so often arrogance moves out. When knowledge aggregates, so does leverage. Decisions become chess moves rather than coin flips. Time now compounds these principles into momentum and avalanche of intentional days. You notice reality-bending coincidences clustering around consistent effort. Emails you once drafted in fear now carry confidence. Rooms you once entered timidly now tilt toward your gravity. Strangers label you overnight success, unaware of the marathon you ran in darkness. Smile, but don't pause. Momentum has no parking brake. Reinvest every win upgrade, the routine refine the craft, widen the circle of beneficiaries. Generosity scales achievement from personal to global. Love arrives not the romantic kind, but the architect's devotion to the masterpiece. Love of craft keeps violinists practicing arpeggios at midnight. Surgeons perfecting sutures on oranges, coders refactoring a function most users will never see. Hill observed that burning desire is love translated into aim. Protect that love from cynicism. Treat it as sacred data. When cynics scoff, remember no statue honors a critic. Faith enters the elder sibling of belief calm and unshakable. It is the certainty that after you pour disciplined action into fertile ground, unseen forces conspire in your favor. Hill called it infinite intelligence. Others call it providence or quantum alignment. No matter the label, faith is a contract you sign with possibility. Seal it daily. Meditate. Pray, visualize. Choose the ritual that tunes your station to hope over static. Imagination circles back, scribbling upgrades on blueprints you thought finished. Invention is an infinite series, not a final exam. While others celebrate version 1, you sketch version next. Da Vinci filled notebooks with flying machines centuries before engines. Jobs imagined touchscreens when styluses ruled. Your brain is not a warehouse. It is a launch pad. Launch again. Service magnifies everything like a lens. When your pursuit lifts, others' resources sprint toward you. Talent, capital, trust. Bezos built Amazon obsessive about customer delight. Patagonia reinvests profit into planet stewardship. Each grows precisely because service expanded the field of play beyond ego. Ask daily who benefits when I do this well. Then solve for their gain and watch reciprocal loyalty crowd your doorstep. Integrity cements the structure. Without it, success is a sandcastle in tide. Hill warned that every fortune built on deceit contains a self-destruct timer. Choose transparency so unwavering that even mistakes broadcast honor. Apologize fast, correct faster. Let contracts match handshakes. Let teammates predict your fairness with sighs of relief. Reputation is compound interest on ethical decisions. Health powers the engine. Ignore it, and the vehicle fails mid-parade. Sleep like an innovator, eat like a future elder, train. Like movement is a privilege. Remember Roosevelt conquering rough terrain despite asthma. Franklin in cold water therapy at dawn. Serena Williams practicing footwork after maternity. The body is the only headquarters you cannot relocate. Maintain it with reverence. Environment colors everything. Surround yourself with people who treat excellence as baseline. If no such circle exists, author it. Invite mentors, collaborate with believers network across oceans of doubt. Hill coined mastermind because synergy multiplies intellect. Alone, you innovate at jogging speed. Together, you sprint. Protect that room from naysayers as fiercely as a surgeon protects sterility. Reflection offers feedback loops. Each night ask, what governed today? Design or default? What belief gap surfaced? Where did courage vanish? Note, adjust, forgive, improve. Reflection is self-metabolizing leadership. Without it, you repeat chapters. With it, you publish sequels. Grace glides through soft, yet seismic. Forgive the earlier versions of yourself that acted from fear. They got you here. Extend grace outward. Anger is energy leaking from purpose. Lincoln filled his pockets with unsigned letters of fury he never mailed, sparing the Union needless fractures. Your unmailed letters preserve bandwidth for building, not burning. Patience stabilizes the rocket. Bamboo spends years building root networks before visible growth. Your root skills, networks, credibility must deepen before the skyline sees you. Hill said some riches come wrapped in incubation. Resist the urge to uproot for inspection. Trust subterranean progress. Patience is not passivity. It is active faith tethered to relentless effort. Courage reignites when monotony dims fire. Courage is not reserved for battlefield medals. It is the Tuesday cold call. The apology to a hurt friend, the pivot after sunk cost. Draw courage from evidence. Every prior leap you survived is proof of capacity. Display those proof points on mental billboards. Creativity stitches novelty into function. Ask what if until boredom flees. Tesla asked, "What if we bottled lightning?" And the modern grid replied, "You can ask, what if education felt like adventure? Or what if wellness was a game?" Creativity is not frivolous. It is competitive edge disguised as play. Humility keeps altitude safe. Remember, you are both architect and student. Success does not vaccinate against obscurity. Markets shift, tastes evolve. Stay teachable, celebrate wins, but study them for replicable patterns rather than self-worship. When compliments swell, counterbalance with beginner's mind. Legacy finally steps forward. Cliffs of time behind it. Legacy is the echo after voice fades. The cure completed by someone you mentored, the scholarship funded by patents you penned. Envision grandchildren researching your name and finding more than anecdotes. They find bridges, libraries, ecosystems you built. Let that vision calibrate decisions in real time. Profit matters, impact outlasts. Then the crescendo. You stand again on that ridge. Dawn bleeding gold across ambition. You review the parade of principles now marching in formation. Mindset sharp as blade. Belief glowing like ember clarity. Etched vision, luminous purpose. Roaring, discipline. Steady, action, surging gratitude. Resonant, adaptability. Nimble, resilience. Granite, learning. Ceaseless love. Burning faith. Unblinking imagination. Restless, service. Vast integrity. Sealed health. Vibrant environment. Fertile, reflection. Precise, grace. Flowing, patience. Rooted courage. Charged creativity. Unleashed humility. Grounding legacy. Stretching beyond horizon. Together they form an armored legion, but one commander issues the order you. The wind rises taunting with whispers of those still waiting for permission. You smile because you finally comprehend the arithmetic of destiny. No one is coming equals everyone is free. Free to build, to fail, to rise, to iterate, to astonish. As you inhale, cellular kingdoms prepare for movement. As you exhale, doubt evacuates. There is no confetti cannon, no banner drop, only the quiet crunch of your boot on the path. You take a step, and in that step, civilization tilts infinitesimally toward improvement. You take another, and genealogies shift trajectory. Momentum awakens galaxies of consequence. So advance now without drumline, yet hearing thunder, without spotlight, yet glowing. Produce art policies, engines, lullabies, enterprises, gardens, whatever your soul contracted to deliver. Demand it from yourself with the urgency of a final heartbeat, but celebrate each mile like a first breath. Trust that invisible allies, serendipity, Synchronicity, the compounded goodwill of every life you uplift. March beside you. Synchronous unseen. At the edge of speech, where words surrender to silence, one truth remains: the world remodels itself around unwavering intention. You are that intention. Chisel it, polish it, wield it. In barren fields, become rainfall. In crowded rooms, become clarity. In cynical epics, become astonishment. You are the unrelenting artisan of your fate, the unapologetic sculptor of tomorrow's headlines, the heartbeat that will not outsource its thunder. No one's coming, and in that vacancy lives the purest invitation ever issued to rise, to build, to roar. Step.